Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to another session of Meditations with Marigny. So, this morning I wanted to jump on and just have a quick conversation with you in reference to, and I really want to speak to the younger ladies today. This might be for the mature women as well, but this morning I believe that it's going to be for my younger sisters. And it's based upon a conversation that I had with the minister the other day, as well as just some social media posts that I saw. And if you feel like there is a young lady that could benefit from some wisdom from, I would consider myself to be a senior woman now. Well, I won't say senior, but I have some wisdom that I feel that I could share. I'll put it that way. I don't think I really want to step over into the senior level yet, even though I'm getting there. I think I'm a young senior. But I want to tap into a couple of things that happened recently in the social media world. And it also kind of came as a result. This coming Saturday, I will be singing on a program for a women's ministry event. And based on just some conversation that I've had with a couple of ministers and things that have come forth, I just felt led to kind of share something with some of my younger sisters. And I really want to talk about walking in abstinence, the ability to understand your worth, and the ability to understand whether or not you just want to remain in a girlfriend, fun girl category, or whether you have the anointing to walk out the responsibilities of being a wife. So if you feel like there's someone that might could benefit from this information, I would love for you to click like. I would love for you to share with a friend, and I would love for you to subscribe. So the first incident that I saw was a video. It was about a content builder. This particular lady has, I want to say maybe about 2 million viewers on her site. And she does a lot of content for ladies talking about dating. And recently she did a review for something that took place with the young lady. I think her name is Cardi B, and the young man that she's dating. And the review that she did, it really kind of, normally this particular content builder, she's really kind of shoot from the hip. But this time, you could tell she was very soft spoken in reference to her comments, because what took place was very hurtful. And so this morning, I kind of wanted to talk to the young ladies about um, just making sure that you understand your value. A couple of months ago, I did a video that was talking about how you dress, how you present yourself, your outer adornment. Like, does it match with your inner self? Does it match with what it is that you are trying to present to those who you have a level of interest in? And the reason that I asked that question is because society will have you to believe that the only way that you can attract a man is through your sexual content. And yes, he is interested in that. Yes, that is his natural state to have a level of interest in you in that area. But that is not all that he's going to be interested in. Once he gets past that point, he is going to need something of substance in order to maintain that relationship, as with you. And so, for those of us that are more mature and we can offer you any level of advice, I would have to just tell you that the more that you value yourself, the more that others will value you. And when I say that, I don't mean the pompous and the over exaggerated thing about, me being the prize or anything of that sort. I am talking about when you have done the work on yourself and you can self reflect on what your worth is. And so the other one is the video with one of the young ladies from, I watch tonight's conversation. I love their content. I like the panelists that they have. I love the information that they give. I can glean a lot of nuggets from that. There is one young lady, her name, she calls herself Dr. B. I don't know her full name, but she was on a panel with that young man. I think his name is Paul Pierce. And he talked about, I think he said women over 29 are washed up. And when I heard him say that, just as a mature woman, it just made me see just how shallow not only he is, but many men that may think that way, because he's a younger man, which means that, yes, from his perspective right now, that's the mindset that he has. As well as if you capitalize on sexualizing women and only using them as a value for what you can get from them from a sexual perspective, then yes, then I guess after 29, they might be used up. But it's going to be interesting to see how he has that same statement when he gets in his 40s and his 50s. Because some of those same women that he felt was used up are going to be the women that will be wise enough to help him get through whatever the processes are that he's going to be dealing with in life. And that's a video for another time period. But these younger men, I'll be honest with you, if they're having to use enhancements in their 20s, they are going to have some serious problems when they get to their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s. If your your equipment is needing some type of support in your 20s, that's going to be a problem 20 years from now. So if it's already a natural problem for a man when he gets to his 50s and his 60s, understand that if a young man is having to use enhancements at this time, it's going to be a greater problem for him later on. But that little nugget is just for the ladies, because what I want you to understand is that you must understand your own value. No one can tell you what your value is. And I'm not talking about this pink pill community where I hear the women saying that they don't need a man, and they don't have to have a man in their life. And I'm not that woman. I need a man. I need a whole man. And I need a man from a perspective of a whole and healthy relationship. I have a video that's called I Don't Need a Man. But if you look at the video is not about what one would think that it's about. It's not me male bashing. It is talking about I want to be a whole woman, so that when I meet someone and we are able to look at what areas that we are compatible, we then can come together as a whole person. He's a whole man. I'm a whole woman, and we can come together in our wholeness, and then we can develop a relationship together. But for the sake of this video, young ladies, I would like to share with you that a man will only see your worth when you can see your worth. He will only be able to value what you bring to the table when you can value what you bring to the table. I wanted to move that because that shadow from the sun. So it is not until you can see your value. You can't expect for someone else to see the value in you when you don't see the value in yourself. That takes work. It is not this superficial component that we see online. I see so many young ladies that are looking to place their value in what they look like. Your value is what is on the inside of you. Your core thought processes, your core foundational components. Even if you were raised in a household that you did not have those, you can always develop them and you can get them. Because what is on the inside of us is our spirit man. So if you desire for your spirit to be different, then spiritually God can then move in the natural to change those things for you. But if you don't see your own value, then you can't put a responsibility on someone else to see it in you. I have intentionally done a lot of the work that needs to be done in order to increase myself, to increase my self thought process, to increase my intellectual intelligence, to increase my emotional connection to people. I've been very intentional with that. And I've even recently had to say to people, like, if I've done all this work, why would I then just walk out here and give it to anybody? So, ladies, when it comes to you and your body, why is it that you, if you've done the work, would do the work on yourself and then walk out and just give it to anybody? No man, I don't care what he says to you, he can woo you, he can tell you this, that, and the other. No man wants what every man has access to. I'm going to let that sit there for a second. No man wants what everyone and every man has access to. Now, will he take it? Yes, he will. If you give it to him, he going to take it. Will he want it? Like from a perspective of, I'm going to try it out? Yes, he will. But he's going to lease it. He ain't going to purchase. And when it comes to what young ladies are saying in reference to men, if you are only doing certain things because you are doing that in exchange for what he can purchase for you, what he can buy for you, how he can take you on a trip, whether or not he can give you something that's affordable, then that is a transactional relationship. And in that transactional relationship, you cannot then expect that he is going to give you transition of exchange of a relationship that you would want, that's going to be a heartfelt relationship. Most relationships and most men, sometimes I talk about what the men talk about in the barbershop, but most relationships are going to be built on the foundation of what that woman sets a standard for. Does that mean, and I have to be honest with you, as a woman who walks in abstinence, that means that oftentimes you are going to be looked over. What that means is that oftentimes they're going to bypass you and they're going to go on to the next person. That means that you may or may not maintain their attention for long. But the truth of the matter is, that's not what you want to do anyway. If he was one that was going to bypass you for that, you want him to keep going. If he was one that was only looking for a good time, you want him to keep going. If you want relationship. Now, the goal for me is I desire to be a wife, which means that I am not just dating guys just to date them. I am dating and vetting to see which men come across my path that have the husband traits, that have the qualities and the values and the standards that will align with my mindset of being a wife. So sometimes we hear people talk about submission and women's inability to submit. To be honest with you, when you're in the presence of a husband, submitting is not an issue. Because when the husband is doing what he's supposed to do, it's going to draw down that component that makes a woman want to submit to him. It's going to be with ease. A lot of times we want to feel like if a relationship don't have a whole lot of turmoil and turbulence, that it's not worth it. And that's the furthest from the truth. Now, when you in your 20s and you learning yourself and you still developing emotionally, yes. So as a young woman, you're going to have those ups and downs and those times where you're emotionally off balance. Your hormones are going to be a whole lot different than mine are. But also, I've learned to manage those hormones. I've learned to manage that based upon my availability to the men that I've chosen that I want to be in their presence. So I know this video kind of is a little bit all over the place. That video that I saw about Cardi B, it really hurt me as a woman. So I can only imagine how it made her feel. But it also showed me that men will treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. It confirmed that young women have to understand their value, not in the money that they make, but in who they are. And so As you continue to walk out your daily process, if you are a young woman and you are trying to make some changes, because insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting to get different results. If you did the same thing in the last relationship and the same thing in the previous relationship and the same thing in the previous relationship and it didn't get you anywhere, then you have to look at it and say, what can I do differently? And also, even for me, it's not easy. Walking in abstinence is not, like some people think it's a breeze. It is not. It is a daily process of praying and seeking God. And then you meet people that they can pull you into a place where you want to come out of that space. Like, if I'm completely honest, there are certain guys that no, I don't even want to be in their presence because I know that that level of temptation is great. So, but I also know that me desiring to be a wife and have a life partner is greater than my fulfillment of a temporary release. And that's all that it is. So we have to really make better decisions. And as young ladies, I just want you to be able to have someone that can speak into your life, that can cover you, that can help to pray you through the hard times, and then, help you to find the strength and get to the counseling that you need in order to be able to develop and maintain yourself as a healthy young lady who would then be prepared to meet a healthy young man who would be able to then have a healthy relationship. So this was just an auntie nugget this morning. I needed to just drop that because there are so many young ladies that are watching these videos, and they're watching the celebrities and the people that are in higher places, and you are placing your value on what a man thinks of you sexually. And just to be honest, like, yeah, he gonna get it. He gonna talk to everybody about it. He gonna go back to the barbershop and talk about how he hit it. And then his friends will hit it too. But understand that they're not gonna marry you. That's not gonna be a point that they're gonna get to. So, ladies, just remember that it is okay to walk out a level of abstinence. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love for you to go back, check out my page. I would love for you to click like. If you think there's someone that you know could use this information, click share. And then I would love for you to subscribe. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.